Twitch is dead. Stop trying. Quit immediately. But only if you want to actually be successful in it. So when you go to the gym and you get out of the gym, you get stronger and you build muscle from the time that you stop doing it, right? You need to go and you need to grind. You need to sprint, but then you need to stop. You need to quit, okay? There's one of these things, right? When I used to play RuneScape, okay? A lot of people say, you never quit RuneScape. You're always just going to take a break. And I think that's how the vast majority of people need to look at the things that they're trying to get good at. You know, like, it's good to be obsessed with things and everything, especially, I guess all of this really depends on, like, who you are, your age, and what you're trying to do. But I think stopping something is the best way to do better at that thing you just stopped doing, right? Your brain needs time to adapt to the information of that which you have put in, right? Like, okay, I learned how to do all this stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm doing my best to put it all forward. And I'm applying that which I've learned. And now it's like you think you've learned it, right? But things often change. Like almost immediately after you think that, like, oh, this is a concrete, like, okay, I'm going to give a good example here. Like, okay, let's say you are like, yeah, I'm going to learn how to do math at the highest level, and you've achieved everything that you could learn, right? It's like you are going to have to wait for somebody else to come up with some other math, unless it's you. But are you that guy who's going to make the new math? Before you can learn any new math. So that's why you got to stop. You got to stop. You can't learn anymore. No way, dude. My mic was muted the whole time. Nah, okay, that pisses me off. Now I'm going to have to edit the video because I thought it was muted the whole time, and it turns out it wasn't, which is great because I actually thought this was going to be a pretty decent video. You know what I mean? But no, seriously, tell me I'm wrong, right? The things that you've done, like, okay, they even say that the best way to study is right before bed. Study a whole lot, then go to bed, then you wake up, and you've learned those things that you've studied now. And you would be better off to do that sleeping, aka stopping, than what do they call it? You continuing to study through the night. You know? And it's like that's like a tried and true, literally like a study method. So the same thing should be applied to everything. This is some interdisciplinary research here that I've conducted, okay? When you go to the gym and you don't gain muscle by working out. You gain muscle by eating and resting and repairing your body. You know, Mike Menser, besides the steroids or whatever and the meth or whatever, he might have been onto something there. He only worked out a couple times a week, but really hard. He went really intense with it. He had the intensity, but then he went so hard he'd have to take a little break, a long break actually, because he understood that it's the amount of effort that you put in, but a sustained amount of effort is almost always like diminished returns. You need to sprint for the thing that you want, and then you need to stop. And you need to come back even stronger. You know? Things are a marathon, right? But it's not a up and up and up and up and up. The line looks like an up and up and up. Like the actual, I guess I should do it from this way, right? It looks like this, right? But that's not actually how it is. Everybody knows this. When you succeed at something, it's going to be like this. Plateau, up, plateau, up, you know? Because once you've achieved something, I remember hearing like, as much as, lately I've been kind of pissed watching all this motivational stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like, you have to realize that once you've succeeded something, you are yet again a failure. You know, you are a failure because you have not succeeded the next thing. You get what I mean? And now I'm at this point where I'm thinking like here with my Twitch streams, right? People say, oh, you like the people who I've saying like I had 10 to 20 viewers, and that was like a really good spot. I know it took me a long time to gain it, and I tell people about that, and they're like, yo, oh, you stop now. You've lost all your momentum. I don't care. I'm happy I did, because if I only ever, yo, hear me out. If I were to stay at that plateau, I would only ever go like this again. Maybe I'll have 23 people in the next 3 months instead of 20, or instead of 15, right, or something. Average viewers. No, like, you get what I'm saying? So I don't know what kind of advice this is. Like, this could be advice for literally fucking anything. It's like whatever you're trying to do. Just stop. Stop trying so hard. Quit. And then realize if you need to reapproach this thing in a different direction. Because, like, the initial idea of what you had and, like, succeeding is hopefully should change depending on the level of success that you want to have. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to, shitty analogy time, like, if you want to invite people to a party and, like, you're like, oh, you tell yourself, I want to have a big party. And you invite 20 people and 3 come. And now you're like, okay, well, this is good. This is better than nobody. But then, like, and then maybe you're like, oh, maybe next time more people come. And, like, maybe 3 people come the next time. Maybe you need to figure out why there's only 3 people coming instead of just thinking it's going to get better. And by me saying you need to figure it out, what I really mean to say is you should quit and restart. Because you can't just keep the same method of thinking that you were operating on when you were trying to get those people in. That method of thinking was flawed, but it was a necessary stepping stone for what you were trying to do, right? All right, that's all. That's all for this video. See you guys tomorrow.